All right, everybody, welcome to yet another Open Dev Mentor Hour. So we got a few online here and more joining on, but anyone who has a question, feel free to go ahead and raise their hand.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. So I know it's very basic question, but that's where I am at now. And so I try to create a new directory for day 2. And when I try to run the command dfx new day 2, it works. But then when I try to do dfx start, it says that I have an error, which is cannot find the fixed configuration file in the current working directory. Did you forget to create one? So I tried to watch the first lecture where Sebastian did it, but I could not. I could not find.
I guess. We probably have to see your screen and see more details to be able to debug that.
I think you are not. You need to move inside the folder. So you've probably created a project and you need to move inside. So change directory. The cd command I've run allow you to move the terminal from the folder you are in to another folder. So you need to run dfx new and then change directory, and then you need to run dfx start.
Okay, so because I changed directory and then I said dfx new, so I should do it before. It doesn't work otherwise.
Sorry, what did you do before?
So you say that I do dfx new day 2. Then I move into the directory, but I did the opposite. I moved into the directory. Then I did the dfx new day 2, and yeah. So
yeah, it's important because dfx new day 2 automatically creates a folder for you. So you need it creates a folder with all the files inside, and you need to move then. So I think if you have created a folder day 2, now you should have the folder day 2 you created, and then another day 2 folder that is the one created by dfx, and then so you need to move again one level below to get the dfx.json file.
Okay, and and can I just delete everything and to start again, or it's not possible?
Yeah, you can delete everything and restart. You can delete your computer and restart if you want to. No, you can delete for sure. You can even create a new project. It doesn't really matter. Wait, you need to delete if you want to create a new folder.
Can you show me how to do that, or it's not ICP related?
It's not ICP related, but I mean.
Or just can you write the command in the?
I will send you the command too.
Well, actually, Seb did a really detailed video already on how to submit the challenges. Did you already watch that video?
No, yes, that's okay. I managed to do it now. I managed to submit the challenges, but now that's that was another issue. But well,
so at the end of that video, he shows how to submit day 2. You need to go into your. You don't need to make a whole new directory. You just make a new Motoko file, and then you just make a small change into your dfx JSON and push to the same repo. You don't need to do a different repo for each day. And you only need to fill out that form one time so that we know which repo you're going to be uploading all the challenges to. So you got a new Motoko file each day, and you just copy and paste a little area in the dfx JSON and commit to GitHub.
Okay. I thought I should create a new one every time.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't understand that the question was for the challenges. If it's for the challenges, you don't need to run the command for sure. You just need to create the file. I suggest you watch the video again.
Watch it all the way through the end, because he shows day 2 at the end.
Yes, I will watch it again. Okay, thank you.
All right, Lopezim.
Hello.
Hello.
I got a doubt with the NFT minter. I cloned a repository called testminter, and I'm having issues with the part where I create the NFT, and then so I connect my plug wallet, I create the NFT, but then when I manually call the canister for the owner of a token, it appears like a reduced principal, like a 10-character principal. So I'm very weirded about that. I'm not very sure what could be happening, but I could share screen if I could make it clearer.
Yeah, I think we will need the screen for this one.
All right, so you might need a, yeah, there you go. All right, so now you should have the ability to share your screen if you want.
Okay, you can see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I copied, 1 second, this project, which seems very similar to the one in the presentation today.
Wait.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so this one, I don't know where you got the link. Oh shit! That's my mistake. I have this repo probably in my public profile. So this is not this one is basically an intermediate student created a bare-bone version of the NFT minter, but I improve it. I made the code a bit more clear for everyone. So this is not the latest version, and you will probably run into issues with this one, I think. So at least I had some issues with it.
Okay. Yeah, I have some issues. Like at least it is working, but
yeah, it's working. But I mean, there are some issues with the principle and everything. I totally see what you mean. So if you want the latest version, you need to go to the Motoko Bootcamp repo. And inside core project, there is the example folder. And yeah, so everything is here.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, maybe that's not the perfect situation for you to get the code. Maybe you can download the repo and copy and paste into a new project, but every source file is here.
I'll do that. Thank you. Then I'll try with this one, and probably I'll be back in 20 minutes and see if I have the same issue. Thanks. I'll stop sharing.
Where is it in that file folder, Seb? The link to that repo?
It's in the core project. There is the core project, like the challenge. I mean the description of the core project. Okay. There is a folder example. Actually, maybe you want to share your error with us, because I think it's an interesting one. I've seen I've seen the issue when you share your screen a bit.
Okay. So right, here I can see that on button press it connects to the plug wallet, right? And it gets the correct principal ID because I could see it on the console, and it is the same on my wallet. But then when it gets minted, somehow everything works. But when I ask the canister for the owner of an ID, it gives me the shortened version of the principal.
So this principle that you see, so 2VXSX FAE, it's called the anonymous principle. So every time you sign a message, every time you interact with the internet computer, every message there is the principle, the coder of the principle. The principle of the coder associated with the message. And so when you are not authenticated, so if you are not using a wallet, if you are not using the FX, if you are just like, maybe, I don't know, you are interacting with the canister from a website and you are not logged in, then you are interacting as the anonymous principal. And this principle is the same for like, I mean, all anonymous user on the IC. So that's why you're seeing that. So you're seeing that because you are not connected with the wallet. There is a problem with the connection function on the code you've shared.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly
on the
what is
reading side, not on the
yeah.
on the writing side.
It's on the front end side for sure. The issue is on the front end. It's on the JavaScript connection with plug. There is something wrong. I think you are not. I think if I remember correctly, the code, the actor is not instantiated with the identity. I suggest you read the plug documentation. Yeah, I just wanted to say that if you see like this principle, like this one, this short one, it means that the user is not logged in. So yeah, that's useful to remember.
Thanks.
All right, hello guys. So I'm a little bit behind on yesterday's stuff on challenge 1. I'm still trying to wrap my head around these, and of course, because of the time zone difference, I can't really attend all of the dev mentor hours you guys are doing. So I'm having trouble understanding this loop and module stuff. So can you guys point me to which exact dev mentor hours you guys discussed this topic, and if you haven't, can you maybe like explain it quickly? Thank you.
All right. Yeah, no worry. Like everyone for this bootcamp, everyone can like follow at his own pace. So no worry about that. Let me just try to find the lecture. I don't remember exactly which one it was. Maybe Isaac, you remember?
Which loops? The ones for day 1?
So it was the array, like I've made a session on array. Yeah, for day 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was the very first dev mentor.
So I'll look into the first and second ones. Would that narrow it down?
Yeah, it'd definitely be. Actually, I haven't seen the second one because that what happened. I had someone covering for me in that one, but
I think the first lecture was challenges 1 to 5 only, or is that are you talking about a different one?
Well, in the very first lecture, that's the one after intro to Motoko. We did a little bit of it in the Q&A, and then I think we did that evening in the dev mentor hour. Somebody asked a question about number 7. And then the third dev mentor hour, I think someone asked a question about number 9.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, and also have you read the guide of the day 1? There is an example of how to use the for loop with an array.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going through the guides and some documentation as well, looking at examples, all of that.
Yeah, okay. And also, last thing, I've posted the solutions for day 1. So if you are...
Yeah, I sadly missed the deadline. My body just shut down.
Yeah, no worry. No, I mean, it's not really a problem. You can keep on doing the challenges, but
yeah, I want to go through them again, like regardless.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good vision, I think. But if you are stuck like 2 hours, you can take a look at the solution.
All right, thank you so much.
Gabe?
Hi, I have a question about challenge number 2 for day 2. Correct me if it's already been discussed in the previous mentor hours today, but I'm having difficulty. I see on the documentation for Max under NAT64 that you have to list 2 variables within the quotation. And I'm wondering if that's, I'm confused as to whether to enter 2 in the actual challenge, because it's only asking for, it's asking to take a nat n and return the maximum number rather than 2. I just did NAT64 because I put, like, I'm just assuming maximum. So if somebody could just cover challenge 2, or at least the first half of it, I think that would be really helpful for myself.
Yeah. So you've talked about NAT64. So I'm not sure where you. So yeah, the challenge is to take a NAT and just return the maximum number that you can represent with n bits. So for example, the maximum number you can represent with n bits is 255. That's like 8 times. So that's explained in the daily guide. Basically, I want the number, but for n bytes. Assuming that,
So
like,
we get, okay, so we get to pick the amount of bits. Like, it doesn't have to be like 64 bits, the maximum.
No, yeah, sorry. Okay, I want the I want the natural representation of this number. So for example, max number with n bits of 8 would return 255. Max number with 2 bits would return 3.
Mhm.
Because that would be 1, which would be 2 power to 2 power 1 plus 2 power 0.
Okay, so the
2
async
plus 1.
async would just be a nat then? It would just be a regular natural number?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? Maybe about the daily challenges for today?
Hello.
Hey, we can hear you.
Hey guys. So yeah, we're working on challenge 3 for day 2. And yeah, I wondered if you could kind of work through it a bit, because we're kind of struggling to figure out how to convert from our natural number to like the text-based binary representation. We're kind of struggling a bit.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah. Let me just. So it's challenge
It's-
number 3.
Seb, I shared basically I just Googled it because I feel like thinking really hard, and I found this little this online resource that has a little drawing on it. So you could just share your screen and show that, and it shows the algorithm you need to make.
Oh, okay. So where is it?
The idea that I had is that we kind of maybe need to use the is it called modulus, where like we need to like the idea I had is we append the result of like dividing x, using the model, like x. What's the command called? Is it called modulus, where you use the percentage sign?
Yeah,
so
it's
like
it's the modulus.
X modulus 2, and then kind of appending that to another variable, and like but looping through it. But I wasn't really sure if I was thinking about it the right way.
Yeah. So first thing you can start doing is maybe I should share my screen.
I can also share it. Okay, there you got it. Yeah.
So this is like this is not the Motoko way, but this is the generic algorithm that you should try if you want to convert a decimal number to binary. So the first thing to do is you have like the given number, which is 13 here. You divide it by 2. And then basically, if the remainder is 1, you put a 1 at the beginning. So like, how to explain?
Yeah, that makes sense. What you're saying is what I thought we should be doing. But okay, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, and then you go on with like the number you got. So then you got 6, and you do exactly the same. And like once you got 0, you can stop the loop. I mean, and yeah, that's it. Like basically, you need to loop over the number. You need to make a division and check the remainder. That's it. Maybe there is a problem because I think that challenge 3 told you to return the number as a text. I think something like that, because I wanted to make a difference between like the decimal number and the binary number. I was afraid that I mean, if I return like 11111, people might think it's 1100.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So yeah,
that's why I asked the text. But basically, you can convert any number with the text module. You can use that to like move from a text to a number if that bother you. Yeah.
There's a question in the chat about what's the best way to print the binary combination.
Were any day 2 challenges covered in previous mentor hours? No, there were not. Yeah, no, there were not.
Oh, are you saying, or you're answering how to print the binary combination? If this is a text, sorry, I was out for a sec, but I'm assuming you're using it as a text. You just return it.
Just a
sync text.
Yeah. So
yeah.
What I mean, you just initialize. Well, one way to do it, and there's different ways, but I mean, you can just initialize a string with nothing in it, and then concat that with the value of a variable, convert it to a string, and then you turn like a nat into a string, and then you can cat it with what the string already is, and so bam, you're building a string, and then you just return that, and that string is the answer.
Okay, I think we're on the right path, so thanks for that info. Can you show me that page that you had that showed, or is there?
I shared it I've shared it in chat, but I literally just Googled it. Like,
okay, cool.
I mean, you can do that with a lot of these. If you can sit there and think of the algorithm, and it's not too bad. But I was trying to rush and get through it fast, so I just Googled, and on Google there's all of the logics that you would need for basic stuff like these.
Yeah, and, exactly.
The math formulas.
I'm finding is like most of everything we're trying to do, someone's already done it in some other language, and it's just about figuring out how to do it in Motoko.
Exactly. This is like the decimal to bits. It's like, I mean, it's quite common.
Yeah, they're all like programming 101 kind of problems.
Yeah, also I've seen someone talk about like the way to represent binary. So there is something called blob in Motoko, which is the most efficient way to store binary values. Yeah, you can also use like text, like I've done in the challenges. I think I've used text because it's more, I mean, you can actually see the 1 and the 0, but don't forget that even if it's a bit confusing, the 1 and 0 you see are not like the 1 and 0 that are bits, it's the 1 and 0 that are text. So they are taking more space in memory, but I mean, it's just, you don't need to worry too much about that.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I think you pointed us in the right direction, so thanks a lot. I'll let someone else go.
So did you get the? Oh, sorry, it was cut, I think.
All right, so fresh, so face. Nice username.
Hello. Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, like if it's just me or like for the experienced devs, is it like a little bit strange or lacking in, like Motoko is kind of lacking in functionality, like the regular for loop, especially. I thought it was strange that you can't do like, you know, like initialize a variable and increment the variable like in most other programming language within a for loop. But like how do you work around that and still make the code look like readable?
So for the for loop, you need to use iter.range. I mean, it's not like the syntax you are used to probably, but basically the syntax for x in something is working in Motoko. You just need e to be like an iterator. So it can be, you can iterate through an array, you can iterate through a hash map, you can iterate through a range. So like 1 to 5. This is like exactly the same, I guess, like a concept and working than in other programming language. It's just that you don't have this like for let e equal 0, like e, like in JavaScript, like yeah, ++ and things like that. You don't have that in Motoko.
Like, sometimes you kind of, you need, for example, for the, not just in the range, but well, I don't know, you don't need it, but like that you want to start, like if you're in a nested for loop, you want it to start like at I+1, right? Because you, in most algorithms, you have a head and a tail. So like, how would you do a nested for loop where you have like a head and a tail? And that's kind of why I'm interested in seeing the solutions from day one, because I did like a while loop instead of a for loop because I couldn't really figure it out.
Well, I'm not sure I'm gonna give a great answer. It's, yeah, you're wondering like, how do you know how is the like the second loop compared to the first one, because you don't have the,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for algorithms in general, like if you want to start on the, like you have a head and a tail, and then you want the inner for loop to start like usually it's ij, right? Like, so j is equal to I+1. So I'm wondering like how to do that, but make it still look kind of normal so that people can read it. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
j is equal to I+1. Yeah.
So for the solution of yesterday, the for loop that was used was using so e between 0 and size -1, so like normal, and then the second loop was using g between e and size -1. So like this nested loop was working fine. Yeah, I don't see like where would be exactly the problem. Like if you are blocked on something precise, maybe I can try to answer, but right now I don't see.
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe it's kind of hard to describe what I'm thinking, but yeah, I mean, is there to follow up kind of with that, is there going to be like major library improvements in Motoko to like kind of include things that are a little bit more common, and so people can kind of get the hang of it a little bit quicker? Or what is there like kind of a roadmap for, you know, even things like that you can't use, like plus notation, or I can't remember everything, you know, off the top of my head, but like, is there going to be like improvements like that to the language?
So a lot of libraries for sure, a lot of improvement, especially like what is really cool with Motoko is that you have a lot of built-in functionality, like with the IC. Like you have a functionality called Herbit, which you can call on Motoko. In Motoko, it's something to like plan a chronic task on the IC. You have the concept of actor, async, which is like really useful with Motoko, with the IC, sorry. Yeah, for sure there will be a lot of improvements. There is a roadmap for Motoko, which was published on the forum recently. But for the specific loop, I don't think they plan to change it. I mean, I think it will stay like that with the concept of iterators. Yeah, actually, I really like it. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but I had never thought before Motoko about like this iterator object. It took me some days to like understand what is it, but now it makes
a Python thing.
Yeah, I don't
really
know.
do
I had
Python that much,
never like seen that. I mean, and
yeah,
this is just, I think it just makes so much sense now. So yeah, sorry, there is
I mean,
no.
it must have been like, yeah, I know it should have. I guess it has to have been like an intentional design, you know, design that they did. But I'm just trying to wrap my head around why they would have, you know, skipped certain things. But yeah, no, I totally understand. I think you're on mute if you're talking.
Oh, I was not talking.
Okay.
So
yeah, no, okay.
Yeah, I was not talking. So Ben, as a beginner, would like to know how to interpret function sort. Yeah, okay. So this one is tough. You have a lot of different concepts to put together. So let me share my screen again. Okay. So you want to know the sort function. So first, the bracket A is a generic type. So it means you can call the sort function on whatever. Let me open the Motoko playground. On whatever type of array you want. So I think the most common would be to use an array of nat. Let's make it not sorted. So first thing to do is, of course, to import the array module, as always. And then, so we want to create a function just to test something. Let's say this function just return the array that we have here. So we want to return array dot sort nat. So I hope you understand why we are using nat. It's because this array that we are going to use the sort function on is an array of nat. After that, I think we will try with a text array, maybe. So that's it for the generic type. Then this parameter is just the array, basically. So that's array. And this second, I have two. This second parameter, this one, is a function. So it's called compare function, CMP for compare, that basically takes two value of type A and return the other. Other is a new type. So a two value can be less, equal, or greater. And basically that's like how the algorithm needs this function to know how to sort the values, to know like that. I mean with NUT it's quite obvious that you want like 5 to be higher than 3, but what is really cool with this function is that you can imagine that you can, for example, sort different people based on whatever function you want. So let's say you have profile of people and you have like the number of posts, the number of likes, the number of whatever, a lot of parameters, and you want to compare those people. Like you want to sort them with a sort of ranking system that you want to determine. Then it's not really obvious, like, all right, who is like the first, who is the second. So that's why you have this function to specify, and this function should like takes two value and again return are those value less or equal or greater. So for NUT, for the NUT type, you have such a function. I think it's NUT.compare, which will return the order of X and Y. So to do that, you need to import NUT and then NUT.compare. We can try to deploy that. Where is the deploy function? What I've done. Wait. There should be like a deploy button here. I don't know what I've done, but okay. Yeah. So we should return 5, 6, and 12 if everything works. And it didn't work. And yeah, basically you can compare two values with a compare function. So you need to like to provide the function. I mean, if you are trying to compare text, maybe you can have a compare function for text, and it's here. You can compare maybe, I don't know. What can you compare? Maybe car can be compared. Yeah. And you can even create your own function. I mean, let's do it. Let compare is a func that takes a NUT and another NUT and returns an order like that. I don't, wait, do you need to, yeah. So for this one, you need to import order library. So if n is higher than n, let's return, I have no idea if what I'm doing is like the right order, I guess. Wait. In the order of X and Y. Well, let's try to inverse the order. I think I'm inversing everything, so we will probably see the array being reversed. At least that's my intention. And else we can just return equal. less equal greater. Yeah, okay, seems to be good. So now let's just provide, instead of nat.compare, our own compare function. I need to deploy. You can see like we have been talking for the people in for the people here. We have been talking about WASM. That's like another indication that I've not lied, and there is something called WebAssembly, and this is the size of the module. You can get it here. Okay, so we should get the array, but with 12, 6, and 5, I think. Yes. So I hope it makes sense. Yeah, maybe the person that asked the question can try to answer, try to talk.
Abraham, raise your hand.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I actually want to ask a question regarding to the documentation and the Motoko base library. This thing is on, actually I wanted to get the link first before coming back to, oh my God. Okay, let me, so hold on, please give me a few seconds. Let me get that thing again, because, all right. So like this, there's a function there is alphabetic, right? It's alphabetic, like
Here?
where you see uppercase, what you see is uppercase, is lowercase, yeah. So those functions, those kind of, I don't know what I'll call the syntax given there. So I'm kind of having issues to decode it and how to implement it. Let's say it's alphabetic, how to implement it in my program. So I was just going through it today, and the whole thing, I'm like, when I try to apply it, since I'm not gonna break the line, if I break the line, it shows me error. If I don't put it, it keep bringing up one error and the other. So I don't really know how to make use of it. I don't know if this is still in the context of this course, or maybe it's out of it. So I just want to know.
Let's do it. So this is in the char library.
Okay.
So public function is alphabetic. We are going to take a text and convert this text to a character because so this is really I mean, it's really subtle, I would say, because it bothers me at the beginning. The char type in Motoko, this one, there is also so the char type is like that in Motoko. So this is like for example, this variable like character of type char would be something like that. Like this one, it's a char. So this is a text is made of multiple chars. So for example, let's text.
Okay.
So this is like this char, sorry, this char plus this char, and actually,
okay,
it's like that. So that's explained in the guide as well. The array is just here to like make things more presentable, but it's not really an array. I mean, probably it is, but so yeah, the difference between char and text is that the text you have double quotes and it's like multiple letters.
Like string of character.
Exactly. The char is just one, and it's it can also be like something. I mean, a char can also be something like a number. You know, it can also be like that, exclamation mark. So this function is alphabetic. It's here. wait, it's here. So it's taking a car and it's returning if the car is in the alphabet or not. So basically it's saying, is it A, is it B, is it C, D, or not? If it's like so yeah, let me first create, before talking about something else, let me just try it on what is happening. Maybe another A would be better. Okay, so this should return true because A is in the alphabet. So let's test it. Yeah, it returns true. Now we can try with something else. Let's call it something else. Let's try, I don't know, exclamation mark. Let's try it. I don't think it's considered to be in the alphabet. I mean, at least it's not in my alphabet, so let's try it. Oh. Okay, so it's not is alphabetic. And basically you can do also the same with is uppercase. So is it like a capital letter or not? Is it lowercase? Is it white space? All those things are available. Yeah, and we can make, instead of making like just one test like that, we can probably make something better, which is in alphabet. Alphabet. Take the text. So what I want to do is, I think it's in the text library. No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I think I see this word of a thing in that is it capitalized in the library in the website. I think I saw it there.
sorry, what did you say?
No, I think the word that is the parameter you pass into the function, the word. I think I saw where they use word in the this thing, the capitalized or what? When I was searching about capitalized, I saw where this, but it wasn't really doing anything. So just
I
like
was just like it's just my variable, which is like I could call it a phrase or whatever. It's just my variable. Yeah. So what I want to do is this. So all right, I think we are good. So yeah, I should got something like true, false, false. This is like a character in the alphabet. This is not. This is numbers. Those are like dollars, so it's not considered to be in the alphabet, and so on. So yeah, that was what I wanted to show. This is like the function to check if a car is a letter.
Okay, I was just looking at the implementation. Thank you so much for that, because I was wondering how it's going to be implemented. Then that means the hyphen and the is it greater than sign? I don't know. It's just there for what? Is it for illustration? What? I mean on the documentation. In the documentation, like yeah. The hyphen, the arrow there. Is it for illustration? Just is it for illustration purpose, or is there any special thing the arrow is playing?
Oh, okay. I think I understand. Like, why? Why is it? Yeah.
It's the return. It's telling you that is what it returns, is a boolean or a.
Yeah, but if you look, like, it's not. I mean, it's strange because, like, for example, this one is structured that way and this one is structured that way. This is because those are like two different syntax. I mean, this one is the func and this one is another way of writing a func. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I understand what you mean.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. The implementation, I'm okay with that. So I can just do some things about it to know how it's gonna work. So we're just trying to play with the things there. But I messed the whole things up. So I said, let me during the developers open house, I'm gonna ask it so that I'll know how it's been implemented. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. No worry.
Wow.
All right, so we have time probably for one more question, but then we've got to start getting ready for the next lecture, roughly an hour from now. All right. Well, if no one has any other questions, then I guess we'll wrap this session up. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see some of you all back in an hour for a talk on NFTs. It's actually shifting from Jorgen. Jorgen's sick today, so Ted is going to give his talk. It's going to be more of a beginner intro to NFTs, but it should be useful for the core project. So I hope to see a lot of y'all joining on that one as well. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. See you.